Hi everyone, Nigel here with you again, Nigel's Model Bench, and here we have a review for you, and this is the 30-year-old, 1992 this was originally tooled. This is the Hasegawa SH3H Sea King in 1/48 scale. I've already done a review of this kit a while back, and up until now it's been the only 1/48 Sea King out there really, but now we have this. And this is the brand new, well it's not even brand new, it's not even out yet, 1/48 scale Western Sea King HAS1, HAS5, HU5 from Airfix. And this was only released, it was only launched last week, July the 25th, 2023. So this has arrived this morning. I've done a review of it, it's already gone out, you may well have seen it. So what I'm going to do now is do a comparison. So how does this 30-year-old kit compare to the brand new one? And we'll start off by having a look at the instructions and comparing the builds. Okay, so comparing instructions, they're about the same size. These are all in black and white. Airfix has black, white, red and orange and all sorts of different colours going on. The Airfix manual is 40 pages, 186 steps. The Hasegawa manual is 16 pages and 21 steps, so you can see there's a difference there straight away. Obviously this is a 30-year-old kit, this is brand new, although apparently it's been in development for about 4 years, I think Chris said. So yeah, I've got some history about the aircraft on the front, both the same, and some specifications and everything. And obviously this is a Sikorsky Sea King and this is a Western Sea King. Quite what the differences are, I don't know. Maybe someone could tell me in the comments below. Because I would like to know how easy it would be to make this kit into old 66 Apollo 13, because I've got these decals here which were kindly sent to me by Hobby Time, thank you very much sir, and I can build Apollo 13 recovery April 17th 1970, and the reason I want to build that is I was actually physically there and watched Apollo 13 launch and felt it in my chest, and it was quite an incredible experience that I remember to this day. So anyway, looking through the instructions, the Airfix is obviously starting off with a lot of drilling because you've got all the different options. The Hasegawa is just going straight into sprue callouts and then into the cockpit. So you've got all this drilling to do in the Airfix when you've got to make sure you know what you're going to do before you even start. So you've got a cockpit here which is beautifully detailed. We've got seats going together here, no seat belts or anything, and then the cockpit's all going together. You're starting on the instrument panel and the combing and fitting that. So there's your cockpit done. On this one, you've got moulded on seat belts, which I guess is a bonus, but the seats aren't anything like as nice as they are in the Airfix kit. You've also got the central console, and they're telling you to paint everything. I can't see any decals for the console in the kit. No, I don't see any instrument panel decals at all. And then you've got it all going in with the control sticks, and that's it. You've got the combing going there, instrument panel going in there, and then you have some overhead stuff going on that bulkhead, and that is it. And this is where things get really, really different, because with the Airfix kit, you're getting all this different interior, and you're getting all these different options for different stuff. You've got a sonar buoy there, I think that's what it is, and you've got a cable wheel there, and you've got the bench seats there. You've got all this equipment. I don't know what any of it is. I'm no expert on any of this whatsoever. I'm not even going to try and guess what it is. And it all goes together, and you can see you've got this beautifully detailed interior here, and then you've got the side panels going on to enclose everything. So you're building up like a much larger scale helicopter. You're building up this complete unit. Well, on this one, that's it. You do that and then you bring the sides together. There is no internal detail, no nothing. So you can't even have the door open unless you cut it open. With the Airfix one, the door is actually open. So there we go. Working on the exhaust there. As you can see here, you've got the exhaust. Maybe the Hasegawa kit exhausts are a little nicer because they're just made out of that two pieces, but you don't have the detail inside like you've got with these, with the shafts going through. So that's another downside to this. They're telling you not to glue that in for some reason, obviously because it's going to position itself once it goes in. And then you've got all this interior going together here. You've got this surround here for the hole in the bottom with the buoy. The landing lights here are done as a separate piece of plastic that goes inside, and you can just glue in the middle, which is a nice touch. With this one, you've got the separate pieces going in, so you have more chance of making a mess with the glue. They've both got separate bellies, and they've both got this disc. This one doesn't have a blanking disc for the belly, not that I know of. Let's have a look over the page. Nope, there was no blanking disc for the belly, so if you want to have a flat belly on that one, you'll have to scratch build that yourself, unless there's actually one on the sprues. I can't see one. There's bits here which are greyed out. So so there we go. So that's that. Then we're going over adding the intakes. As we can see in the Hasegawa kit, we got all that going together there. The intakes are probably moulded as a piece cut on the front. Nope, there's nothing in them. They're just holes. So that's not very nice, is it? Surely there's something going over the front of them. Surely. Yes, there we go. We have got something going over the front of them. So so that's that. You've got the spine work going on there, and then you're building up the sponsons with the undercarriage. Here you've got the sponsons. These are extended because they carry the anti-submarine torpedo. You've got the little bits going in there. Very simplified undercarriage on this one, whereas the Airfix one is a bit more detailed, I believe. Yes, you've got this support arm going in here. There you've got the support arm there for the undercarriage lowered. It looks like with this one you don't get the option of having the undercarriage raised, unless you can actually just roll it back. I'm not sure, but with this one you have separate parts that you use to have the undercarriage raised or lowered, which is nice. And then going over the page here, we're building up our tail rotor. There's no option in here to have it folded, even though it is a separate piece, whereas in the Airfix kit you have the option of having it open or folded. Got the air filter assemblies going on there. We've got all the clear parts going in, which are the same on both kits. Clear parts going in from the outside, which is nice. All here, as you can see. And you're drilling some holes. Also on this one, it doesn't have separate wiper blades. With the Airfix kit, you have the wiper blades moulded in or not, depending which one you want to use. Lots and lots of bits and pieces and greeblies going on here, separate bits for all the 4 different options. With this one, it's all pretty much moulded on. You've got some little pitot tubes there going on the front, but there's no real detail parts going on. It's all just you know, very simple, very simplified. If you go back and look at Plastic Monkey's channel, he's built this. He did a lovely job of it, and he used the Edward photo etch set, and there's a lot of photo etch to go on because it's so simple. And there we go. I mean, here you've got the rotor head with the blades out, or you've got the option of having the rotor head with the blades back. You've got 2 different styles of rotor blade. In the Hasegawa kit, you've only got 1 lot of rotor blades. You only get 1 tail rotor, whereas in the Airfix you get the 5 and the 6 blade tail rotor. And here you can have it folded back as well, but you're using the same blades. C14. On this one you use the same blades, but what I was saying when I did my review, if I could look a bit closer at it, you can see we've got the main rotor hub is a different part, and for the folded you've got D4, which is the same, so you could easily just make that pin and have a piece of sprue or something. But what I'm thinking is you could build up the, you know, your rotors extended, use the correct rotor blades, and then you could use the incorrect rotor blades and build an inaccurate model if you want. But you could just stick them in there when you brought it on display in your cabinet, just to make it look a bit better than just having something sat there with nothing on the head at all. What I haven't noticed in this kit is can you just remove, yeah, it just drops down in. So it's the same on both of them, you just drop them in. So it's always nice with helicopters if you can remove the rotor head to save space for storage. So there we have it. So as far as features go, they both have foldable rotor heads. The Airfix one has the option of having the undercarriage up, whereas the Hasegawa one looks like it doesn't. The Airfix has a 6 and a 5 blade tail rotor. This one only has a 5. And this one has the extended sponsons, and this one has the shorter sponsons. This one doesn't have the longer ones. So there are some differences, but as far as complexity goes, particularly with the interior, the Airfix absolutely wins, hands down. Moving over to the colour callouts, we need the Hasegawa instructions over here, because with the Hasegawa kit, this is what you're getting. So you've got Wyverns HS12 US Navy, you've got the Black Knights HS4 US Navy, you've got the 8 Ballers HS8 US Navy, and that's it. So you've got 3 options in here. They're all US Navy. This one you have 4 options. You have A, which is the 826 Naval Air Squadron in the matte navy blue. Then you have, and then you have 814 Naval Air Squadron. This is in the satin medium sea grey, okay, or camouflage grey, or whichever one it is. I'm not sure which one of those it is. What are they saying here? 165, so it is the satin medium grey. I was right first time. So that's your option B. And then you have option C, which is this beautiful red and grey beast, which is absolutely lovely. Very, very nice indeed, which is the one I will do. And then we have, this is the privately owned Heli Operations, Portland, Dorset. And if you've noticed, these are all the same helicopter. They're all XV666, sorry, and it covers the what is it now, 50 years of her life, 1970 to 2023, 53 years we've been going. So there we are. So yeah, with the colour call outs, the Airfix wins hands down. It's much, much nicer, bigger, more colourful, better painting guide and everything. This is just throwing numbers at you for decal placement, and often a little bit difficult to see exactly where they're going, but I'm sure they're absolutely fine. The decal sheets themselves, the Airfix is cartograph, so it's going to win over the Hasegawa hands down for ease of application and everything, and that carrier film. I'm not sure about removing the carrier film on these, we'll have to have a look. The Hasegawa decals are very, very nice indeed. Lots and lots of rescue triangles and stuff. And as we can see on here, if I can catch it in the light, I don't have the light on. If I can catch it in the light here. No, you can't see it. The carrier film on here is quite big. It's like this here is all one decal. So there's going to be issues with carrier film probably on this one. I'm not sure if it can be removed, but with this one it's very, very nice indeed. All these little stencils and everything are all individual decals, so very nice. But these are going to win hands down. I think these win for colour and everything. Really, really nice, but this for quality is going to be a million times better, because Airfix cartograph decals always are. The ones in the Spitfire are positively amazing. So there we go. So that's the decals, and obviously I'm lucky to have these for Apollo 13. So really, really nice. Thank you very much, Hobby Time. I do know your name, mate, but I know you don't like people using your name, so I will call you Hobby Time. That man is going to comment below all these helicopter videos because he knows the Sea King inside out. So looking at the plastic, let's get these decals out of the way. Looking at the plastic, I've got some resin seats for this Hasegawa one because the seats aren't very nice. The Airfix one doesn't need them. The Airfix kit doesn't have seat belts, to be fair, which is a bit of a downside to it, but they know that the aftermarket's going to jump all over it. And if it had moulded on seat belts, we would all moan. If it had the thick plastic seat belts, we would all moan. They can't put photo etch in their kits because it puts them up to an older age limit. They can sell in places like toy shops and stuff because they don't have photo etch. As soon as you add photo etch, it puts in sharp edges. I think it's 14 and above. I'm not sure what age they put on here. Suitable for. Not suitable for children under 36 months. And that's all they have to put. If it had photo etch like this one does, it probably says on here 14 plus. No, it doesn't. That's unusual. There we go, it does. Not suitable for children under 14 years. So that's why Airfix don't put photo etch in generally. They did in the KT, which you've seen me build, but it means they can sell them in toy shops and stuff, and a 10 or 12 year old can go and buy this happily. But if it's got photo etch, you need to be over 14. Daft, isn't it? So here's the Hasegawa kit. Let's start by looking at the fuselage halves. Straight away, Hasegawa, very, very hard plastic. It's very nice to work with, but it can be quite brittle. I'll get the fuselage halves out of here. I bagged them up so they didn't all get scratched. I'll put the bag down there on the floor. So here we can see a comparison of the fuselage halves, and if I get 2 of them in shot, you can see, if I get 4 of them, I get 3 of them in shot. You can see on here, the Hasegawa is very shiny, and it's also very simply marked. It hasn't got raised detail or anything. It's got raised bits and pieces, but it doesn't have any raised rivet detail. Rivet detail is all recessed, very, very restrained. A decent coat of primer would probably cover it up. I don't know if you can see that rivet detail on this, very, very faint, very, very low, low definition. Moulded on door, no option to have the door open, basically because there's no interior. There's also these sections here, which I guess they take inserts out of the mould tool, or you cut them out yourselves to put different windows in. As you can see here, this door is moulded shut, no option to have that open. Whereas with the Airfix kit, we have an open door there, we have an open door there because we got all the detail inside, and you can see on here the gorgeous rivet detail, which is really nicely done. A lot of people wish it was raised. I guess raised would be more accurate, but I just think this would be a lot easier to work with, and it's a lot less likely to be damaged because I have 3 kits with raised rivet detail on them, and they all have damage in the bags just from sprues knocking into each other. You can see on here we've got all the interior seat detail. On this one we don't get anything, obviously because there is no interior. Going over here, we have the floor, the internal floor, and if we look at the Hasegawa kit, if I can find the floor, here it is. Mr. Prepared as usual. There's your floor. So you can see straight away there the difference in the cockpit. You can see there the cockpit floor of the Airfix on the right and the Hasegawa on the left, and then you've got all that lovely detail on the floor there with raised rivets and everything. This is just nothing, so you've got to add the detail. Also with the Hasegawa kit, this area here, there's nothing, whereas with the Airfix kit you get that, you can see those cutouts. There's like a unit in there, like a cabinet or whatever it is. So when you have that door open, that one there, that's what you'll see. So this one you've got the option of having the door down with the steps and everything. Hasegawa, you get nothing. The rotor head there on the Hasegawa looks very, very simple. We'll look at the Airfix one in a minute. But they do have the fabric there on that bulkhead, which is nice. Whereas the Airfix one has all this pipework and everything. So that is completely missing from the Hasegawa kit. As you can see there, you've got the fabric and there we've got pipework. So there we go. So that's all very nice. Going back to the Hasegawa kit, and there's hardly much in it. Look, it's about there's about 220 pieces, I think. The Airfix is 350 or 348. Looking at the rotor blades, they've got moulded in sag, which is nice. The Airfix ones have a very slight sag in them. We can see here the wheels and tyres, that's what I was looking for. You can see there the Airfix ones are much nicer, but you can just guarantee the Aftermarket will be all over this with resin wheels and everything, so that's bound to be coming around the corner. Obviously there's 2 of these sprues in the Hasegawa kit, as you can see there. I'm looking for the other one I got right in front of me. So that's that there. This is also Hasegawa. The underbelly, let's have a look at the Airfix underbelly, wherever it may be. There it is. Let's look at the detail on that. So we've got sprues coming out of my ears here. So we can see the detail on here compared to the Hasegawa is there's just no competition whatsoever. Here we've got all these raised lumps and bumps. We've got these bits and pieces here which probably wouldn't be on an American one, so we can't blame them for not having them. But we've got a few raised lumps and bumps, and there's some panel line there, but it's very, very faint, whereas the Airfix one is absolutely plastered in rivets. So if you wanted to build a dirty old washed up, messed up one with a lot of wash on it, you can, and it will look great. You can see the detail on the engine covers, and that is quite nice on the Hasegawa kit, but it'll be far superior on the Airfix. I know, for example, when I did the review I was looking at those panels there. You can see the riveting on these panels here, for example, compared to the Hasegawa one, which is here. You see the difference in those parts. If you could look through the Hasegawa sprue, they're very, very nice indeed in the Airfix. You do get the option to have a folded rotor head on the Hasegawa, but the rotor head itself looks very, very simple in comparison. You can also look here at the undercarriage legs. Where are they? There they are. So we can look at the Hasegawa ones there compared to the Airfix. And the Airfix ones are much bigger, look. That's strange. Very strange. Looks like the Hasegawa ones are way undersized. I can't believe the Airfix ones are too big, because they've researched and scanned the hell out of this helicopter, so, and they've had so many to go and look at, so I can only assume that the Hasegawa ones are too small. So there we go. Bit of research for you there, guys. The clear parts, Hasegawa's clear sprue is here. The Airfix one is here. Put Hasegawa fuselage out of the way. So here's the Airfix, and here's the Hasegawa. As you can see, the Hasegawa is nice, but there's no rivet detail on the framework or anything, whereas on the Airfix kit there is. And on this Airfix one, you're getting two windscreens, one with wiper blades and one without. So if you're going to add aftermarket, you just use that one. You don't have to file and sand those off. The Hasegawa one has no wiper because you get plastic wiper blades, which is nice, but they're probably going to be thick and chunky. You also got a massive sprue connector there, and the actual window framing is very, very faintly moulded, whereas this one's lovely. So very, very nice indeed. Very, very nice indeed. So we'll put these back in their bag so they don't get scratched. Can't thank Airfix enough for bringing this out, because until now in 48 scale Sea Kings all we've had is this Hasegawa kit, and it is a little lacking for those that like the detail. DJ Park can do some sets to upgrade it. As you can see, I've got the quick boost resin seats, which look lovely. We've got a little bit of photo etch in the Hasegawa kit, which the Airfix one doesn't, as I said just now. And you know, looking at the kits together, it is a nice comparison to see them both together. You can see the old and the new together. Looking at these rotor blades, clear my throat, sorry. The Airfix rotor blades don't have anything like the sag in them that the Hasegawa ones do, but they are very, very thin and beautifully to scale, so I'm guessing they're gonna sag. They've got some sag molded into them, as I showed you in my review. They're also exactly the same length, so that's all good. You're not getting the option to have these rotor blades in the Hasegawa kit, but then you don't get the anti-submarine torpedo in the Airfix kit. But you do get a 6-bladed tail rotor and a 5-bladed tail rotor, which I've already mentioned. There's a lot of bits in this kit which I can't see being used, so there's going to be obviously some RAF versions coming along the way. Yeah, very, very nice indeed. And I'm looking here. The Airfix blades have no detail moulded in them, whereas these do. I'm not sure which is correct. Maybe this is correct for an American helicopter and these are correct for a British. I'm not sure, but these blades have some panel lines in them. Those ones don't. But when we look at those rotor heads, you can see the difference in the detail there. Look at that. Straight away, I mean, looking at the detail on there, is that one piece? Yeah, that's the top. Just look at the detail there compared to, you know, when you compare those two together. Look at these rotor heads here. Look at the comparison of the detail. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Put the Airfix one on the top. There you go. Very, very nice indeed. Tail wheel on Hasegawa is molded in with the leg, which is always a pain. The Airfix one is separate. That's another nice little feature. All in all, the Airfix kit is gorgeous. If you look around now, you can get it in Airfix on a pre-order. There's a lot of shops got it on pre-order for about $49.99. If you look at one shop in particular, they've also got the Hasegawa kit on pre-order, and the Hasegawa kit is about £2 cheaper than this one, so it's obvious which one you're going to go for, unless of course you want to do an American one. And just to finish off, if somebody could comment below please and tell me what you would need to do to make this, the Airfix kit, into an American Sea King, old 66. If you could let me know, I'd be grateful. Thank you very much guys, thank you for watching, see you later, bye bye.